Welcome to our program entitled Dr. Steve Blake's Natural Approach to Osteoarthritis, Part 2 of 2. Dr. Blake, a vegan, has a doctorate in holistic health specializing in nutritional biochemistry, as well as naturopathic medicine. Currently, he's the research director at the Neuroscience Nutrition Foundation at Haiku, Hawaii, USA, and lead advisor for the Gale Encyclopedia of Alternative Medicine. He has taught classes at the University of Hawaii on Maui, Stanford University in California, and the Boston University Medical Center in Massachusetts. Dr. Blake is the author of Healing Medicine and the reference book Fats and Oils Demystified, as well as many other significant publications, such as Arthritis Relief and How Nutrition Can Help with Pain and Inflammation. We are privileged that he shared his time and expertise with us on the subject of preventing and treating arthritis. On today's program, we present the second half of our interview with Dr. Blake. There are numerous supplements available for treating arthritis, and it can be quite challenging to decide which ones to try. We asked Dr. Blake what his recommendations would be.
There are so many supplements for arthritis. I think that one that's very widely used is called glucosamine sulfate, and this is widely used by people, but widely denigrated by doctors. The trick with glucosamine sulfate is that it takes up to 6 months to take full effect. This is a nutrient, not a drug. Glucosamine sulfate has been shown to be absorbed into the joints where it's needed. It's part of healthy cartilage. Many of the studies checking on glucosamine sulfate were too short. They take a study that lasts only 6 weeks, and there's no way it's going to show a good effect of glucosamine sulfate. When we look at longer studies, we see that in many people this is helpful because it is non-damaging and fairly cheap. Now, it's better to get the vegetarian form of glucosamine sulfate, and that way we avoid the pollutants that might be found in the cartilage of our animals raised for agriculture. Another of the supplements that's widely used is chondroitin sulfate, but I think we're better off taking SAMe, S-adenosylmethionine, instead of chondroitin sulfate. SAMe has been shown to lower pain and inflammation and raise our own production of chondroitin sulfate, which is something that occurs in joints naturally and makes them springy and soft so they don't tend to get brittle and break away. There's one more supplement I'd like to mention. It's called avocado soy unsaponifiables. It's a long name, or ASU for short. This seems to very much help with arthritis, and it seems to be a safe, natural substance, with many medical studies showing its efficiency in helping stop arthritis from being so painful and inflammatory.
Some researchers in several clinical trials have suggested that MSM, methylsulfonylumethane, may help reduce arthritis. We wanted to know Dr. Blake's assessment.
One of the substances used for arthritis, called MSM, is widely used in the market, but I think it might be a good idea to avoid this particular substance. It's made during the processing of paper and pulp, and the sodium sulfide is added to the paper pulp to provide sulfur, but sulfur is not really lacking in most people anyway. The sulfur-containing amino acids supply us with a good amount. The paper and pulp mills eventually reduce this black liquor down to DMSO, which is a very powerful solvent used for paint stripping. It's very useful for paint stripping. In fact, it's one of the safest paint strippers. But when this is then oxidized into MSM, it becomes a product that is potentially unsafe, very poorly studied from a safety standpoint, and possibly even dangerous to take. So I think it's best to avoid this particular substance when we're dealing with arthritis.
Let's pause here for an intermission and a brief constructive message. When we return, there'll be more tips from Dr. Blake for treating arthritis. So please stay with us here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Dr. Steve Blake's Natural Approach to Osteoarthritis, Part 2 of 2 on Supreme Master Television. What about using herbs to improve one's arthritis condition? Can they also be useful to those seeking relief?
Now, there are some botanical remedies, some medical plants used for arthritis, quite a few really. Many people know about turmeric. But I think the most effective one is boswellia. also known as frankincense. Boswellia has been studied scientifically and shown to help with the pain and disability that affects people with arthritis. So that's something to explore after you've explored the dietary approaches. There's a good chance that just by getting enough omega-3s, keeping the omega-6s down, and also supplying yourself with lots of fruits and vegetables and a few nuts and seeds for the vitamin E, you may not need any supplements at all, and that would be the preferred approach.
As we learned last week, osteoarthritis is the result of worn out and damaged cartilage, and most often occurs in the knees, hip, lower back, and neck, as well as fingers and toes. Are there nutrients that can help rebuild cartilage?
Cartilage is built in a matrix of collagen, and collagen is the most abundant protein in our bodies. Collagen forms the basic structure for skin and hair and teeth, bones, and cartilage. So we need to keep restructuring our collagen so that we can keep our cartilage rebuilt. And there are 4 nutrients that are essential for this. Vitamin C is very essential for building collagen so we can keep our cartilage healthy. Then there's iron, copper, and manganese. Now it's difficult sometimes to know if you're getting all these trace micronutrients. I do like to analyze diets to make sure people are getting the right amount, and you can do that yourself too.
For pain relief, it is not necessary to take pills or capsules. We want to know if Dr. Blake could suggest any formulation that can be directly applied to sore joints.
When people have arthritis pain, sometimes they can use a topical treatment such as the product called Tiger Balm, which you rub on, and it's a mentholated kind of a heat promoting. It feels cool, it feels hot, and it relieves pain inside the joints. This might be preferable to use over the painkillers that can cause stomach or liver or heart problems. So if that works for you, you might try that. There are many of these on the market that you can put on.
A well-known saying is, prevention is the best medicine. Dr. Blake explained how our joints are lubricated and what we can do to keep them moving smoothly.
All of our joints have this grease in them called synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is between the cartilage and actually soaks into the outer area of the cartilage. It protects it and lubricates it and makes it so our joints work smoothly. Any loss in the lubricating effect of our synovial fluid can cause the wearing away of cartilage. So we need to keep it healthy. Now, what dietary components help keep our cartilage healthy? It turns out that beans have a special fatty substance called phosphatidylcholine, also phosphatidylethanolamine. These substances are very important for keeping our synovial fluid in a very greasy form so that it can protect our cartilage from getting worn away, which is just what we want to do to keep ourselves from having problems. All of these approaches are good for prevention as well as treatment.
It was our honor to interview Dr. Steve Blake, and we want to thank him for generously sharing with us so many different aspects of preventing and treating osteoarthritis. For more information about Dr. Blake and his book, Arthritis Relief, please visit drsteveblake.com/arthritisbook.html. We are grateful, joyful viewers, that you have joined us today for part 2 of Dr. Steve Blake's Natural Approach to Osteoarthritis.